and I am coming to you live on this Friday night live chat. Um, I'm not gonna hold y'all long. Y'all, I was down to the bar where the rich cars be, and maybe the 100 cars too, in the words of Funky Diva. But my coworker, he turned 30 today, y'all. Oh, he's still a baby. But anyways, he turned 30 today, so I did not eat today. And so we went down to the tequila bar just to celebrate. And I was going to go back to the office and do some more work because I was like, I'll just be down there for an hour because I'm really just there to eat. Why were they giving away free shots of tequila? And my ass hadn't eaten. And to make it worse, so I've been to this establishment a few times and I love the place. I love the bartenders. I love the food, and it's just a really cool spot. If you ever are in Henderson, Nevada, you want to go off strip, it's a place called Cantina Tequila. Great place. Problem is, like so many people are probably going to be having this summer, the AC went out. Y'all, heat and tequila and me do not mix. Okay. I was so fucked up at that bar. Excuse me. I was so messed up at that bar. It was terrible. I was like, Lord, please don't let me die from heat exhaustion and tequila, Lord. But either way, right towards the end when we got ready to leave, the air came on. So this won't be a long video, but I'll probably come back on tomorrow and talk some more. Because right after we talked about Malcolm Jamal Warner's estate and his failure to update his estate plan, we find out that there are issues in the Black Panther family, Chadwick Boseman's widow, versus his family, okay? Chadwick died in 2020, in August of 2020 at age 43. Had battled colon cancer for 4 years. Did not do an estate plan of any kind other than it seems to me, based upon what the news is reporting, he had certain assets where he had named beneficiaries, but they all had to go through probate. Okay. Which I'm surprised by, because if you have life insurance, that's another vehicle to avoid probate. If you have, IRAs with, hey, how you doing, lady? Yes, you did. You finally caught me. I don't plan on being here long. Girl, I'm recovering from, I don't know what the hell happened down to the bar. Went to tequila bar, overheated because the air went out. I tell you, I don't know why. I mean, I know why people live in Vegas and I know why they settled here, but my God, the heat is so, it was 117 degrees today, y'all. I am tired. I have on no makeup. Um, Real quick sidebar, just to let y'all know. So, I share that I do have ADHD, right? I have not had my Adderall in 3 days. I don't even know how I was functioning at work. And I knew it's dry heat, but it is hot. And when you're inside of a building and the AC goes out, it's still cooler inside than it is outside. But I overheated. And me and tequila and heat don't go together. Okay. Tequila and I go together, but not heat. Tequila, we can't have a threesome up in here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I haven't had my Adderall either. So today I ended up staying home fussing between CVS and my provider. The only reason I mess with CVS because CVS is a commercial pharmacy that tends to always have the Adderall in stock. I have the time release Adderall. And you can't have continuous refills like every 30 days, or it has to be refilled, but your doctor has to write a new prescription because people have abused the privilege of having Adderall. And for that, I say F you people who screwed it for everyone who actually needs, like I actually needed to function and do my job day to day. I'm still capable, but I can tell that I'm not as focused and in the zone as I normally am, right? So this is what 3 days without it looks like when I have to go to work. So I fought for about 2 hours on the phone, text messaging. So every 30 days. It used to be the telehealth, but now it's in the office. Yeah, I do telehealth, and it's not a problem. The problem is that I ran out and because he always sends it in advance. So the prescription is already there. All they have to do is fill it when I say, hey, just took my last pill. Finally, I talked to a tech, and this is the thing about CVS. I think that they hire special people to work there. I really do. It's almost like the Goodwill of pharmacies. I haven't dealt with any other pharmacy except for Costco and the hospital pharmacy when I was in Reno, because that was another good place. But I swear, these people can't even buy a clue sometimes. And no offense to my people in Smyrna at the Target CVS, y'all are the best. The Goodwill of pharmacies, yes, because they just look at you like you crazy for something. But either way, I was on the phone. She was like, "Well, it's an old prescription," and I'm like, "No, it's not. He just sent it in on the first." So finally, so then she comes back with this BS story about um what did she say? She said, oh, well, now CVS has implemented this new thing where we have to talk to the providers every few months or so. Since when? When y'all start that? So either way, y'all, I am tired, but I did want to hop on here and talk about, because I'm going to try to, again, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to try to be consistent. I've actually been on here 3-4 times this week. So I'm actually doing pretty good. I was here Sunday, and I think I was here Monday. The pharmacy I go to called Hope Pharmacy. It's so nice. I love that place. It's just one store, and the people in the place is amazing. And that's great. But sometimes if you go to these great places, like if you go to Costco, they're not going to always have the Adderall you need. It's unfortunate, but it's true. I think more pharmacies probably have the one I'm on, which is the time released one. But since I'm stuck with CVS, I like the discount program. I get my vitamins cheap that I can't get at Sam's Club or Costco. So there you go. But I was hopping on here because y'all know outside of doing commentary, and I am going to eventually go back to doing stand-up comedy and just being a funny person, I also try to be informative. And you want me to get your ball? Lord, my child and dropped her ball on the floor. And now she looking at me like, Mama, can't you get it? Hold on. Here you go, Mama. Oh, so anyway, on what was it, Monday or Tuesday, we talked about Malcolm Jamal Warner's estate and how, here's what I was grateful to hear. At least he had an estate, but at least he had a trust in place, because Prince, my favorite artist of all time, died without an estate plan. Now, people like Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson's estate plan technically was old too, because I don't think he anticipated, like, how was Mama Catherine supposed to take care of them 3 children, especially Blanket? Oh, and then Diana Ross, she already had 10 children. She got 10. I think she got, I forgot what her oldest daughter is named. You got Tracy, what's the other one? Cheetah, the twins. So that's 5, maybe 6 kids. I don't know. But either way, his estate plan was old, but at least he had something in place. Malcolm Jamal Warner had something in place. Thing old since 1996, baby. It was dust. He was supposed to update his estate plan. Then, who else? Now you got Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, and people are really upset. And people, it's always the knee-jerk reaction, because I'm like, I get it. Y'all don't understand how estates and trusts work. I think it's 6. I don't know how many children Diana Ross got. I love it though. I've seen it twice when I was in Reno. The Diva. So now Chadwick Boseman, he had 4 years from his diagnosis to set up an estate plan. But you know what I think? I think that in his mind, Chadwick Boseman believed, I am not going to die. I am going to live, and I do not need to set up an estate plan just yet. And he didn't. And now, I think in 2022, his wife was made to be the estate administrator, which is basically just the executor, personal representative. Um, she is supposed to distribute out whatever it is his parents and whomever the court has directed. 50% of his estate went to her, and 50% goes to his parents, 25% each. Now his two brothers are raising holy hell because here we are in 2026 and she still has not executed. And they are asking that she be replaced with a court appointed administrator who specializes in forensic accounting. But before she is removed fully, they want her to give a basis as to why she has not fulfilled the terms of the court directive. Somebody was on, I don't know if it was the Jasmine brand or somewhere, talking about, a wife is always going to trump anybody else. I'm like, not when it's a court order involved, baby. No. There are 10 kids total. Oh, she has 10 children total? Oh, Jesus. So, anyway, needless to say, Simone, baby, if you don't know what you're doing, get some help. There are attorneys out there. There are people out there like even myself that can help you resolve this trust for a fee, because we don't do nothing for free, okay? But this is what I do for a living. I am a trust officer. I administer trust in the states, okay? People ask me what I do for a living. Sometimes I jokingly say I'm a death dealer. Not all my clients are deceased, because some people actually have revocable trust. And some of them realize, like my little 89-year-old client, she said, hey, I'm getting up in age. I'm double paying bills and I need to resign as trustee. And so now I want a corporate trustee to handle my matters. And that's what we do for her. We pay all of her bills. They get mailed into the office and I pay them. Or my assistant sets it up for me to have it batched and we send out payments. Except for Cox Cable or Cox, y'all keep turning why she call me? Hey, oh my God, they turned my cable off again and my internet. I'm like, oh no. So then I have to call Cox and I have to get someone's corporate card because I still don't have a corporate card yet. That's coming. And I'm just like, what the hell? But what I want people to understand is a court order does not trump what your marital status is. If the courts tell you to do something, you need to execute expeditiously. Most estates, when properly executed, on average, take anywhere from a year to a year and a half. She needs to provide a final accounting. She needs to pay whatever debts need to be paid, whatever creditors have made a claim to his estate. And she needs to just pay the people. I mean, his mother gets long-term health care. It's my understanding that there are IRAs in place too. Here's the problem. As of 2020, because IRS, as I call them, the IRS, IRS wants to get paid sooner than later. Most people who have inherited IRAs back in the day usually could say, I really don't want my RMD. Or if they haven't even reached the age where they can even take the distributions, they don't want them. But now you got up to 10 years from the date of death. I think it is from the date of death or the year of death to pay out all of this money from an inherited IRA. Why has that not been given? Because apparently somebody was named as a beneficiary. The long-term health care, I don't know what Chadwick's parents' health is, but I know his mama was supposed to get that. It's like, I don't know what's going on and what the holdup is. If this directive was handed down in 2022, what is going on? Now, there's three sides to every story. We know that, right? You got their side, her side, and the truth. Somewhere in the middle, it's there. If y'all are just harassing this lady because she ain't moving fast enough and your parents done got a little bit here and there, okay. But if she has absolutely not executed, that's a problem. And it doesn't matter that she's his widow, okay? He did not have an estate, but he didn't even have a trust, which I'm surprised. I was like, at the very least, you should have had a trust in place. Or a life insurance, something. But again, All of us are living in the moment and thinking we're going to live forever. And that's not the case. I don't care how old you are, young, old. There are people who only breathe for all of 5 minutes and they in the ground too. Okay. He doesn't have a trust that's correct. No, he doesn't. When he first died, it was speculated that he did, but I guess as it turns out, he doesn't have one. Okay. They say he's worth, and I find this so hard to believe. I was like, somebody lying and the truth ain't in them. $3.3 million? I don't believe it. Maybe I'm wrong, because Chadwick was one of the hardest working men in Hollywood. He played everybody, his mama, his daddy, his cousin. This is no true, because he was Thurgood Marshall, which I was like, how is this even going to be believable, y'all? When I went and saw, me and my line sister went and saw that in the theaters back in 2017, 2018? No, it's 2016. It might have been 2016 when that movie came out. But we met up, we went and saw it, and I totally forgot that that was Chadwick Boseman playing Thurgood Marshall. Okay? He played Jackie Robinson. He played James Brown. I mean, he was Black Panther. And I don't care if it's not a real place. Let's just be real. Stan Lee and the creators of Marvel knew what they were doing when they made X-Men and Black Panther and all of these comics that came out. Because really, like X-Men in particular was about civil rights. People don't realize that. And I always felt that's one of my favorite Marvel series is X-Men, because I always felt like X-Men was black people. I really did. Because the most hated, most terrorized, hated people on the planet, it's always us. And I'm not saying that other minorities don't get it, but even the other minorities be against us sometimes. I mean, have y'all ever been in LA and see how divided, especially when you think about gangland stuff that goes on, how much the Latinos hate the black gangs? It's ridiculous. Like, there is no reason to hate each other. Let's just all get along and fight the power that be, because we all gonna die apparently, because we all gonna end up eating air sandwiches. Every time I look up, there's a new report. Yeah, it really was about civil rights. Stan Lee was a brilliant man. May he rest in peace. But it's just unfortunate that we live in a time that we do, because I keep hearing about the food recalls right now. My friend, my high school homie, she was like, I guess we just gonna eat air sandwich. I said, I guess we gonna die. Maybe we need to learn how to eat mud pies at this point. Is the ground that chemically bad at this point? They've just recalled lentil soup in a can? Good thing I'm not a fan of lentil soup. I was like, hell, is the frozen food safe? If we cook it, will that make it? I mean, if this, eggs are being recalled. Remember how everyone wanted the price of eggs to come down? Eggs are currently being recalled. But that's because the guardrails got removed. They're off. And the guardrails that should have been in place, no one ever anticipated that a sitting president would start a campaign of hate and completely tear down any form of infrastructure. I don't think, honestly, anyone ever anticipated that. But I'm like, the first run was a test run. The second time around is scorched earth for him. For whatever reason, he hates the impoverished and loves the rich. But I'm like, the rich also like salads too. I mean, produce gonna kill us. And like, I just heard a comedian, I forgot what his name is, but he looks so young. He has a baby face. But he was talking about, he said, you ain't never heard about no candy getting recalled, but produce gonna kill us. I was like, pretty much. The things that are healthy, the things that normally are around the circumference of the store is going to kill us. Josh Johnson. Thank you. That's his name. I was like, it's true. They don't care about the consequences of their actions. I mean, let's just be real. What's his name? RFK Jr. I know he's dead and just rolling around in the grave. His behind gonna go in that cesspool of a creek talking about it's perfectly safe. And measles is at an all-time high. Let that sink in. When have you heard somebody say, I got a case of the measles? In 35 years, it is at an all-time high. Because y'all have convinced yourselves that vaccines are bad. Y'all done let crazy, crackhead, a man who told y'all he used to do coke off a toilet seat, tell y'all that vaccines are bad. Okay. But I guess some people got a death wish. It will kill you. Because especially the older you are, is the probability of you dying from it is high. I'm trying to think what else has happened in the headlines. But anyways, I'm trying to think, yeah, what else has happened? It's so much going on. The Nolan Wells matter, and there's a couple of other people that around that time have died who haven't even gotten the traction. And I watched a clip of the mother talk about, do you think race played a part? And she says, I don't want to say it, but you can't overlook that part, can you? But Nancy Grace is on the case. Don't you? If it was your child, wouldn't you want to know what happened? Don't you? I said, people can hate Nancy Grace all. You can't make me hate Nancy Grace. Because, baby, she is on the case. And one of my friends said, she probably getting a kickback. Who cares? As long as she's using her voice for good. I don't care. Somebody knows. Okay, you have a good night. Thank you for joining because I'm about to get off of here too because I need to take a nap because y'all, that heat, oh my God, in that place. The AC finally did come on though, thank God. But, with Nolan Wells, I haven't taken a deep dive into it, but it is sad to say this, that sometimes when you're the only one, you're not safe. There have been so many incidences. Now, me personally, I have. I'm often the only one in some situations, but you just got to be on point. You just got to be on point. I'll never forget one night. And the thing about it is, technically, I wasn't the only one because my friend, who's an Aborigine from Australia, technically they black minority. But I'll never forget, I was sitting across from this girl who played basketball for SMU, and she was drunk out of her freaking mind. And she looks me dead in the face. And I could tell what she was trying to do. She was trying to goad me into a fight. Baby, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. Yes, at that time, I was fresh out of MP training. And I was like, I could whoop a ass right here in this bar, but that's not my stilo. She gonna look me dead in my face like, you are so ugly. And I was just like, girl, have you looked in the mirror at yourself? You look like you are emaciated. And a little skinny ass chihuahua, basically, is what you look like. I didn't say nothing, I just ignored her. But she was looking for a reason to go after me and just look me dead. I'm like, you don't even know me from a can of paint. Girl, you better stand down. But anyways, I'm going to take a deep dive into that. I'm also going to look into these other stories of people around the time that Nolan Wells was pretty much probably, I hate to say it, unalived by people he thought were his peers and friends. Not everybody's your friend. My problem is, if you all grew up together and y'all been friends that long, why? What's the reason? What was the reason? But Nancy Grace is on the case, so y'all better get ready because everybody head's about to roll, baby, and people gonna start talking. We already got somebody releasing photos to the family. Okay. One friend and kind of started talking. He said a whole lot of nothing, but I said at least he talking. Okay. But I'm going to go because I am going to call it an early night because I got to get up tomorrow and go back into the office because I did not accomplish half of what I wanted to accomplish today. Some of my beneficiaries are more trying than others. I didn't want to argue today with one in particular, so I was agreeable to her terms. However, I said I cannot commit definitively to what it is you are stating. Great way to get out of that. But y'all have a good night. And be sure, I'm going to close out with this. I need to do it. So let's all just try to get our estate plans together, because you do not want the courts to parse out even if all you got is a shoe collection. Who do you want that to go to? I'm just saying. Y'all have a good night. I've been Miss Sophia the Diva, and this has been a Diva Disturbed Friday Night Live. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Good night.